Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for tuning in. We have a lot to talk about, and what a day. What a day. Check out H.A. Goodman's other channel. The link is below, because I also have segments on that channel as well. And there's a lot to talk about. We'll start off with a New York Times article. Barr and Durham publicly disagree with Horowitz report on Russia inquiry. The Attorney General reprised his role as a vocal... Okay, so this is what Mr. Barr has... William Barr states in direct contrast with the IG report, which states... It doesn't say there was no political bias. What it says is there was no documentary or testimonial evidence of political bias or institutional bias. Well, you're not going to find any testimonial evidence aside from, the endless text messages from agents and lawyers who just couldn't stand candidate Trump and then President Trump. So there was testimonial evidence. That's for sure. There's definitely testimonial evidence. But the interesting thing is that I guess what Michael Horowitz, what he means by testimonial evidence is maybe an admission of guilt from James Comey in a letter saying, I, James Comey, am presiding over investigations I know have no basis in reality, but, millions upon millions, 65 million people lost, so there you go. Eric H526! Thank you, Eric H526. Thank you very much. Thank you for everything, always. Thank you, Eric H526. So, the really interesting thing about this is that the IG report confirms President Trump's and John Durham's and William Barr's belief that it was all based on nonsense. But because Michael Horowitz couldn't find... look, there were 17 examples of inaccuracies on 3 different applications signed off by people like James Comey and Andrew McCabe and Sally Yates. And this is obvious. It's obvious what they've done. But William Barr says, quote, the FBI launched an intrusive investigation of a U.S. presidential campaign on the thinnest of suspicions that, in my view, were insufficient to justify the steps taken. Of course. The retribution was conducted by the Democratic Party and people beholden to Democrats like Kevin Kleinsmith, like James Comey, like Andrew McCabe, like James Baker. These are all people on MSNBC. These are all people getting published by the Washington Post. It's not a coincidence. You're not dealing with salt-of-the-earth people who don't have, a political axe to grind. You're dealing with people who know exactly how to manipulate the public relations apparatus. So William Barr is already on record. The FBI launched an intrusive investigation of a U.S. presidential campaign on the thinnest of suspicions that, in my view, were insufficient to justify the steps taken. Then you have John Durham, who has an even better. John Durham has a fantastic statement of U.S. Attorney John Durham. This is absolutely fantastic. Quote, I have the utmost respect for the mission of the Office of Inspector General and the comprehensive work that went into the report prepared by Mr. Horowitz and his staff. However, our investigation is not limited to developing information from within component parts of the Justice Department. Our investigation has included developing information from the persons and entities both in the U.S. and outside the U.S. Based on the evidence collected to date and while our investigation is ongoing, last month we advised Inspector General that we do not agree with some of the report's conclusions to predication about how the FBI case was opened. Now, did you not hear all the different headlines? Well, Durham found no evidence. Durham found no evidence. He literally states, based on the evidence collected. Based on the evidence collected, we don't agree. So he has evidence. He has evidence. He definitely has evidence. And he spoke to Mifsud. He spoke to everyone involved in this overseas. He spoke to MI6 agents. He spoke to Steele. So you have to ask yourself, who do you think is going to win in the long run? And, John Durham already put a top FBI official, a top FBI official in Boston. That man, John Connolly, won't get out until he's 98. Okay? He was convicted for decades. So you have to ask yourself, John Durham, he has the luxury of time and political will. The Democratic Party has been in mourning. I hate to use that word, but they've been in perpetual, their world is a world of contempt and treachery. They can't understand why people like Trump. They can't understand why people are rising wages and record low unemployment and the First Step Act and the first president to step foot in North Korea. They don't view that as democracy. They believe that what Trump has done through his words, which are mean, is, shattered the republic, tarnished the republic. They think that because Trump fights back and because he is belligerent and he's mean, that he's bad for the country because he's just so unorthodox. And this is where we're at as a nation. If President Obama literally engages in a failed NATO intervention, Luke St. Martin, hello. Hope all is well. If President Obama drinks Flint water, well, that's okay. Under the guise of it being safe, even though it's not safe, it wasn't safe to drink. That's okay. So you have two statements from William Barr and John Durham. Ladies and gentlemen, everyone on the left will become H.A. Goodman in about a year. Everybody. I am a Trump supporter. They might not become a Trump supporter, but they'll be a lot more agreeable with the president. Because when Democrats lose again, the entire edifice of their completely irrational allegiance to the people who run the political machine, Hillary and Bill, that's going to come crashing down. They're going to wish that Comey indicted in 2016. They're going to wish, because they're going to say to themselves, "My God, we lost again." Now, they're going to lose again with Clinton. It's not going to be when I always talk about Clinton. Why? Because she's going to be the nominee. It is a political machine that they have. The political machine was bolstered by people like Comey, Strzok, McCabe, Brennan, Clapper, Kleinsmith, all of these, Sally Yates, all of these people. And it's pretty easy to see. They should never have investigated President Trump when they had no evidence of him communicating with Russian officials. They never had any evidence. There was no evidence. They used a dossier that was purchased by Clinton. Literally, a dossier that was literally linked to money from Clinton. And they did not tell the FISA judges this. They deceived judges. That is a criminal act. That is a criminal act. And all you have to do is you indict one person, one of the people who falsified records or falsified information, allegedly Kevin Kleinsmith, and then he possibly flips and sings. This is not rocket science. Billy Blue, thank you. Yes, Billy Blue. They are caving because they know see, the thing is, they were always taught, and I was always taught when I was a Democrat my whole life, that Republicans are worse. Republicans are worse. Anything Democrats do, Republicans are worse. Now, I'm a Trump supporter. I'm not a Republican. So I don't really care about, I'm a lot more conservative nowadays on a lot of things. Definitely Second Amendment. But I'm not a Republican. People like Paul Ryan, Mitt Romney, that's one side of the same coin in my view. But I like President Trump for a lot of reasons, mainly because he goes after very corrupt former officials who tried to frame and set him up. And so what's taking place, ladies and gentlemen, is you're looking at 1 year. They have 1 year because John Durham is not going to finish. John Durham isn't anywhere close. Ladies and gentlemen, John Durham isn't anywhere close to finishing his investigation. You remember how they always said, it's an ongoing investigation, we have to wait. People would say to me all the time, I'd be like, look, he didn't do anything. There's a dossier full of nonsense. There's no crime. We don't know that. We have to wait. I mean, after all, Papadopoulos got indicted. And Flynn, both of them should be pardoned tomorrow. We have no idea. And then Paul Ryan, and then you have other people like, well, we have no idea. We'll just let it take its course. Well, guess what? They had 3 years to investigate Trump. Durham's going to take his time. If they got 3 years, he'll have 3 years. If they got 3 years, he'll have 3 years. And what he will have also, you got to understand something. William Barr and John Durham, they almost certainly want or should want Madam Secretary to run again. She will run. She will lose to Trump. The economy is too good, primarily because the economy is too good. But once Clinton loses, it's game, set, match. The media is done. CNN and MSNBC are done. Because, they're done. That's it. You have the Washington Post, the New York Times, CNN, and MSNBC. You have a machine. You have Hollywood. They're going to implode. And I know what happens on the left. What happens is they always have to they can't look at them in the mirror and say, okay, well, you know what? We lost because of this or that. And in 2016, what took place was they lost, but they had a very smooth landing. That's why Clinton is obviously going to be a nominee again. They had James Comey, they had Clapper, they had Brennan, they had McCabe. They had the dossier, they had Alexander Downer, they had... So it was, he worked with the foreign power. He worked with Russia. Russia wanted you to know about Bernie being cheated. So they used the dossier. A dossier that was complete and utter nonsense. Complete and utter nonsense. Nothing was verified. Nothing. And when I say nothing, absolutely, positively, nothing was verified. When people say, well, the dossier showed that Russia interfered. Number one, Russia, they're not even certain Russia interfered. They're confident. The intelligence community, John Brennan stated, doesn't do evidence. They do intelligence. So that's number one. Number two, there was no predicate crime. So they indicted Russian intelligence officials, but in any indictment, you have to prove somebody committed something. Carl's opinion. Hey, Mr. Goodman in the chat. This is why I love Carl. In addition to him being extremely generous, he brings up the 1-2 punch, the combination punch. Hey, Mr. Goodman in the chat. Did you see the Harvard-Harris poll? Yes. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. Thank God. Harvard-Harris poll that if Hillary runs for Dem nominee, she goes to 21%, followed by Biden 20, Sanders 12. Oh my God. What do you mean 12? You mean 12%? I bust my kumquats for this. Guess what, Warren? Guess what? What's 12 plus 9? Da 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 da. Oh, it's 21, isn't it? No, 22. No, 21. Yes. Oh. So you mean to tell me, Carl's opinion, that if Warren wasn't there, I would get, theoretically, her voters, and I would be at 21, and it would be back again, me versus Madam Secretary, and we know how that turned out. Carl's opinion. This is amazing. Thank you. Okay, so Hillary at 21%. That's right. Followed by Biden, the no malarkey. The no malarkey mania man. Sanders 12, Warren 9, Bloomberg 7. Wow. How did Bloomberg get... Oh, because he put like $50 million. And Buttigieg 5. Thank you. Carl's opinion. Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much, Carl's opinion. So this is absolutely fantastic. This is so hilarious. It is happening exactly the way I said it. And I know it's annoying for people to hear this, but it's happening exactly the way I said it. Carl's opinion. Thank you. Now, Sanders, this is the thing. Bernie Sanders being removed from 2016 long enough, his policies are not feasible. They are noble in terms of what they aim to achieve. They're noble. William Sampley, thank you, William. Thank you, William. In terms of what they want to achieve, they're noble, but they're not feasible. Nonetheless, Bernie's ideas are, enticing. They're energizing. They're, people are motivated by Bernie Sanders. So if Warren not been there, it actually would have been Bernie Sanders again, Carl's opinion. So it actually would have been Bernie Sanders again. And Hillary again. So, Valerie Rogers. Oh, so many good things, Valerie. A lot of good stuff. 17 examples of inaccuracies within the IG report on within three different applications for FISA applications for surveillance of Carter Page. 17. Oh, were there 17? James Comey's like, there were just 17, mistakes. It's a mistake. How do these people think mistakes happen? The mistakes happen on purpose. That's why mistakes happen. It's not a mistake when it's done on purpose. So Carl's opinion, I love it. 21%. But John Durham and William Barr, Carl and everybody, they are hoping Hillary runs again because they will get the political will they will get the political will to, for John Durham to indict. Look, there were 8 lobbyists indicted recently. 8 pertaining to Madam Secretary. So nobody talks about that. It's pretty unbelievable. Nobody talks about that. But it happened. Just the other day, actually. So, you look at, ladies and gentlemen, you look at the long game. Okay, President Trump has a great economy. He's not going to lose the election. Clinton is going to lose again, and she'll run in 2024. Okay? Now, what's going to take place is that the I'm with her crowd will slowly learn that they can't win. Okay? But they're still going to blame everything under the sun. They're still going to blame everything for their loss. But that is going to completely obliterate and decimate the current Democratic Party and its very unhealthy paradigm. Democrats demand allegiance. They demand obedience. They demand everyone fall in line no matter what they do. So, it's really interesting what's going to take place. This election, ladies and gentlemen, this election cycle is going to be one of the most important times in U.S. history. Junior Lopez, hello. Hello, thank you for watching. This election cycle is going to be one of the most important, provocative times in U.S. history. Agent Pepsi won! IG report is a whitewash to protect DOJ top Dems. Yeah, well, to an extent, I believe that. Jack. Maybe. Agent Pepsi won. But you know what? There's already enough evidence there that there's 17 inaccuracies, including Agent Pepsi 1 and everybody, including falsifying of information, which is a criminal act. Falsifying of information. You cannot falsify information. You just cannot falsify information. That's a criminal act. That is a criminal act to do so, to deceive judges. They deceived judges on the origins of the dossier. So when John Durham says our investigation has included developing information from other persons and entities, both within the U.S. and outside of the U.S., based on the evidence collected to date and while our investigation is ongoing, last month we advised the Inspector General that we do not agree with some of the report's conclusions as to predication and how the FBI was opened. For a legal statement, that's pretty clear-cut. That's pretty clear-cut for a legal statement. That's pretty clear-cut. You're not going to get anything clearer than that. So they can, first of all, the ratings of MSNBC and CNN, this is the thing. Okay, liberals are not motivated by intelligence reports. That's generally a more conservative type of, like, this kind of, this emphasis on the words of Comey and Brennan and Clapper, that's not going to last long. That's not going to last long because Democrats in general aren't motivated by this. Now, we already know that he should never have been investigated. William Barr knows this. He stated that. John Durham knows this. He stated that. They publicly dispute the notion that there's no evidence or documentary or testimonial evidence of institutional bias. Okay, this is what they've done is they've completely, all they do, ladies and gentlemen, is they hide within semantic murkiness. They hide within the shadows of semantics and definitions. And everything is written as if they were in a deposition. Madam Secretary doesn't say hello without, kind of seeing how the statement can be construed. Everything is done from the vantage point and perspective of a legal inquiry or deposition. So, when the IG report, when Michael Horowitz says there was no documentary or testimonial evidence, he's saying there was no handwritten letter of guilt from James Comey or McCabe or Clapper or Brennan. That's all he's saying. That's just literally all he's saying. He's not saying there was no evidence. Just like when they said there was no bias in the Clinton email probe, there was no prosecutorial bias. The prosecutors weren't given information on how Clinton was able to obtain top secret and special access program intelligence. So it's really interesting. It's real. Valerie Rogers, if they want to confuse us, well done. Well, thank you. Yeah, it's confusing a bit, Valerie, but it's not really confusing that much, because when you look at it, it's information on how Strzok and Comey and all of them, it's information on how they all tried to undermine Trump's campaign. That's really it. It's information on how they all tried to undermine Trump's campaign. It's even more information for William Barr and John Durham. Even more, as if there wasn't enough. Even more, as if there wasn't enough. You have even more information. So I mean, look, today was actually a really great day in terms of, in terms of what took place. It confirmed everything we already knew. It actually was a lot better for Trump, than it was for Democrats. And everybody, when people say like, oh, well, nobody will ever be held accountable. When you buy a mutual fund, the mutual fund literally states, look, past performance is not indicative of future performance. You just can't buy a stock and say, well, because it's done well, or a mutual fund or whatever investment, because it's done well, it will do well in the future. That doesn't work that way. Investments don't work that way. Just because, look, John Durham already put, here, this is a Miami Herald FBI agent serving time, gets new release date. John Connolly, the notorious former Boston FBI agent convicted of helping others engineer various criminal acts, has a new possible parole date, early 2039. He would be 98 years old. John Connolly was an extremely well-connected, very influential, high-ranking member of the FBI in Boston. John Durham put him away for decades. Florida's Parole Commission made the ruling during a brief hearing on Wednesday. Okay, so you have, he was sentenced to 40 years in prison. He was sentenced to 40 years. 40 years, people. So when you say, nobody ever gets, yeah, they do. Nixon was forced out. Nixon not only would have been impeached, it would have been removed. Inga Hicks! Thank you, Inga. Hope all is well. Keep it up. I got a little thing with the biceps. Yes, I love it. I love it. Thank you, Inga. Thank you for always watching. Thank you very much. Inga Hicks and everyone here, this year is going to be fantastic. Now, the meltdown is going to be biblical. Everyone is going to become H.A. Goodman. Everybody. Honestly, there has to be like some kind of like background of me laughing like like that kind of on election night, because it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. They threw everything, including the kitchen sink. Thank you again, Inga. Thank you. It still didn't work. It still didn't work. And you gotta understand that John Connolly, top FBI official in Boston, got 40 years. He will be 98 years old when he gets out. The chances of that happening. I mean, let's say he lives to like 99 or like 98. He's like, he goes like, finally, I'm gonna party hardy. Like what? So, you know, what can you do? John Durham don't play. You get into John Durham's, his bad side, it's game over. I mean, you got 40 years for a top FBI agent. Nixon was forced out. Okay? And he had won a landslide of, historic proportions. Okay? Let's look at the Nixon won an historic, so Nixon landslide. I mean, that was... He took 60.7% of the popular vote and carried 49 states. Hello. My God. He got 520 electoral college votes in 1972. And then just months later, or a year later. Not long after. He was forced out. George McGovern, 17 electoral votes. Nixon, 520. Carried 49 states. And McGovern got one state, Massachusetts. That's it. And he then was forced out. So, and at that point, Nixon was a lot more powerful then than either Hillary or Bill are now, I would say. So to say that, exactly. CG3 SSF, exactly. There's no future in their fronting. They can't pretend. Because if you have a top FBI agent in Boston serving 40 years, you have Nixon after winning 49 out of 50 states and getting, 512 electoral college votes. And then being removed because of Watergate, or removing himself because of Watergate. Okay? I mean, you pretty much have you pretty much have a situation where at a certain point, yes, of course, very influential and powerful individuals, very difficult to take down. I get it. I'm not saying that it's easy. But John Durham has already done this. He's already done this. And this is like a slam dunk. This is easy. This is not difficult. There is nothing difficult about this. Okay, nothing. We already know. We already know that Trump was set up. We already know. We already know. Everybody knows. You don't have 17 inaccuracies by accident. James Comey in the Washington Post, he's kind of hilarious, too. He's like, sure, there were mistakes. Yeah, there were mistakes. It happens. Only 17 of them, and they just found 17, and there's probably a litany of other mistakes that haven't come out yet. But not mistakes, deliberate attempts at deception. Deliberate attempts at deception. The plausible deniability doesn't work anymore when you had no reason to investigate. Furthermore, the DNC emails are not national security, and they never were, and they never will be. Neither would the RNC emails be national security. They're private entities. In the DNC fraud lawsuit, the DNC stated it was a private entity. You could pick candidates from smoke-filled back rooms. So you have a situation, ladies and gentlemen, where these are private entities, not national security, and if anyone was influenced, it's because of the fact that Debbie Wasserman Schultz was forced to resign in disgrace. So, I mean, you have a whole lot to work with. And look, at the end of the day, it all goes back. This is all public relations. It's all public relations. For Democrats and Clinton, it's public. Here, New York Post, Democrats pick Clinton as 2020 frontrunner. I love this. What have I not said since 2017 that Clinton would be nominee, would run again, lose to Trump, and of course that she was the frontrunner? Did I not say this? Oh, I love this so much. Oh my God, the look of horror. Oh my God, this is going to be good. Oh yes. Oh, I have a lot of people that I'm going to enjoy. I'm literally asking people I know, how's it going to feel? How's it going to feel when you have to vote for Hillary again? How's it going to feel? You going to like it? You going to enjoy it? It's better than the Orange Monster. There's a slight chance she'll probably get the popular vote just by sheer virtue of, the Parabiology 101. Okay. So Parabiology 101. I'll do my Bernard. Oh, look. Guess who's number one again? I thought she wasn't running. I thought that was the running joke, that she wasn't running. Oh, that's great. Thanks, Hillary. Thanks for making Elizabeth Warren run. Because actually, I would have been over 20%, but you know how that goes. Fighting the billionaire class is, it's a very difficult endeavor. You gotta acquiesce. You gotta say things like, I got enough of her emails. I have enough of her emails. Why would I want to talk about her emails when, why would I want to bring it up when my actual opponent is engaged in a criminal investigation because she utilized private computers that had all her Clinton Foundation information. But then again, it's none of my beeswax. This is probably what the Russians wanted anyway. Oh, that's right, I was implicated in the Russian report also. The Russians wanted me and Trumpy. That's funny. How does that work? How does it work that I am also implicated in the Russia probe. I didn't do enough to foment the myth. Jack, eat it, Archie. Eat it. I can't do Jack, I can't do Archie Bunker. I said no. I can't. Archie Bunker, he's hilarious. But Democrats pick Hillary Clinton as 2020 frontrunner. Yes! Victory is mine!
If Madam Secretary is the frontrunner now, when she runs, she'll become nominee, and the Democrats will fall into oblivion.
They don't see it, too. They're like, she's a gutsy woman. Yes. No, and believe me, this is going to be the MC Breed election. Ain't no future in your frontin'. I want Madam Secretary to win because she'll obliterate the Democrats. It's going to be fantastic. But you better, if you're on the left, you better not say anything. You better not say anything bad. Here, noble victory. Inga Hicks. Inga Hicks, thank you. I just want everybody to know that Bucolic Buffalo, thank you. Thank you for supporting H.A. Badman, as we call him in our house. He's H.A. Badman. He's a bad man. I just want to say that both Hillary and I, we thank you from the bottom of our heart for telling everybody to vote for us. I was wrongfully accused of relations I did not have. I had no relations at all. Oh no. I had no relations. I had absolutely no relations. No. But my wife's going to run again. Vote for her, please. Thank you. Bucolic Buffalo! Thank you! Inga Hicks, thank you! Oh, I love Mel Brooks. History of the World. Love. Oh, my goodness. Bucolic Buffalo, thank you. Inga Hicks, thank you. Thank you, Noble Victory, thank you. Yeah, it's going to be so great. I love it. I love it. You mean no malarkey is not working? This is a no malarkey. How can we pick a slogan that is so horrendous and yet kind of that we're trying? Let's see. We're going to fight back? Nah, that doesn't work. Orange is bad? No, people like orange. What's this? Hey, stop that? No, come on, try a little bit. Not, hey, stop that. Come on, what are you doing? What was that? No malarkey? But does anybody even know what malarkey means? Yes, no malarkey. That sounds good. That will ensure that Biden can't win, while at the same time pretending that he wants to win. And then when he talks about lotion on his, legs, with the hairs, moving forward, having other people apply the fluids, that'll be fantastic. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. All right. No malarkey. Yeah. Boxer Parsarver, thank you. That's right. No malarkey. A noble victory. Yes. This is really interesting. I just can't wait. She's running again? I mean, who would have thought? We never knew that she would run. Who would have even brought it up? Me? Every day? For 3 years? I mean, she's a gutsy woman. She's a gutsy woman. That's really bizarre that she would run. But doesn't she want to walk in the woods and relax? She certainly doesn't have unbridled ambition not seen since the Toll of the Hun. No, she's just like you and me. How could she run if she just wants to relax? It's going to be great. And all those people are like, just want to let you know something. Your vantage point is linked to this. Agent Pepsi 1, thank you. Thank you for the beautiful vision. Bucolic Buffalo! Thank you, Bucolic Buffalo, thank you. Thank you very much, Bucolic Buffalo, thank you. John Miller buys in an alley shop. Yeah, that actually, yeah, exactly. Bucolic Buffalo, thank you. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. So, I mean, it's kind of so hilarious. All of this is so hilarious. Oh my God, it's so funny. Oh my God, it's so funny. So, she's now the front runner, which is so amazing. She was always the front runner, but now Democrats pick Hillary Clinton as 2020 front runner in their new poll. Oh, that's so great. I knew it, but to see it coming to fruition is absolutely fantastic. Actually, check out the NPR. There's an article in NPR that quotes me in 2015 and puts me side by side with one of the wonderful polling experts at 538. Very, 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 very esteemed and intelligent and wonderful and awesome gentleman. But he said that Trump would not become GOP nominee. But I said that Clinton is unelectable because she would lose swing states. Anyway, the article from NPR is below. It'll be below in the pinned comment. Share it everywhere, please. It's actually in the pinned comment of all my segments today in both the H.A. Goodman's other channel and H.A. Goodman. But a new poll of registered Democrats has Hillary Clinton as their top choice for the 2020 Democratic president. You mean the No Malarkey bus tours losing steam? No. No, Malarkey's losing steam. What are we going to do? No, Malarkey is losing steam. It's bizarre. That was a really great... that was just a really great campaign, the No Malarkey campaign. That was a really good one. Hey, fat. Hey, you want to do push-ups, man? Everything's like this, like 1950s. Like he's gonna take out a switchblade or something. Hey, man, want to do want to do push-ups? Let's go, one-handed. Come on. This is like he's not talking even to a Trump supporter. He's talking to Elizabeth Warren supporter. Like she's gonna eventually vote for the nominee, which is hilarious. Hey, fat. It's like, you beat cornflakes. That's your claim to fame. But Eric H526, thank you. Thank you, Eric H526. Thank you. This is just so great. The online Harvard-Harris poll released the Center for the American Political Studies at Harvard found that Clinton placed first with 21% of the vote, followed closely by Vice President Joe Biden at 20%, Senator Bernie Sanders at 12%. Okay, so this is just amazing. And they're all going to fall in line. You'll have this is why the MC Breed song "Ain't No Future in Your Front," because you'll have some people be like, "What, Clinton? I'm not voting for Clinton." No, man, I'm not H.A. Badman, but I'm not going to vote for Clinton. You're not going to vote for Clinton? No, man. I always knew you were a supremacist Russian. I always knew that. Bucolic Buffalo! Oh, Bongino thinks the next hoax will be Trump turkey involvement. You know what? Bucolic Buffalo, I wouldn't doubt it. They're just going to go down the line of the map and be like, oh, who's the next one? Oh, there's a hilarious, now Amazon is upset with Trump because he gave a big $10 billion to a deal to Microsoft, which is absolutely hilarious. I'll talk about that on H.A. Goodman's other channel. But it was a lower bid. So, like, how can you get upset because of a lower bid? Obviously, you know, they're saying, well, he did it because he doesn't like us. Well, you know, it's like Microsoft is a big company also. Either just as big, used to be a lot bigger. I mean, whatever. Don't you love, like, everything that doesn't work out is always like, Trump didn't let me have $10 billion. Trump. It's never like, you know, Bucolic Buffalo. It's never, oh, Microsoft is better. It's, oh my God. I already talked about Bill Clinton. You see, somebody up there doesn't like my face. I don't know why. All I tried to do was help people, serve people an extra helping. That's all I tried to do. And my beautiful wife, all she tried to do was run for president in 2016, 2020, 2024, 2028, 2032, and so on and so forth. I agree with you, Tony. I think that would happen. I agree with you on that. But yeah, I mean, ladies and gentlemen, God bless. Thank you so very much, everyone. To my super chat, thank you. Carl's Opinion, thank you. Bucolic Buffalo, thank you. Inga Hicks, thank you. I want to thank you very much, Inga Hicks, for all your kindness and support, everybody. Thank you. Bucolic Buffalo, thank you. Carl's Opinion, thank you. Eric H526, I can't thank you enough. To all my interns, thank you. Everybody, thank you. Oh my goodness, we're going to do it again. Hillary 2020, everybody. Thank you, everybody. God bless. I'll see you tomorrow. We're going to have another great day this week. Michael Horowitz is testifying, in a couple of days? Or no, tomorrow, actually, Wednesday. Going to be fantastic. Thank you, everybody. Have a great, great evening. Thank you so very